Because
Okay.
when we look at the Hall of Fame, right, we look at hits, we look at records being broken, and we look at the impact. And this artist, guys, when we talk about hits, this artist has hits. When we talk about records being broken, this person is in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the highest female debut ever. When we talk about impact, we talk about the collaborations of the 2000s. She's up there. Guys, I'm talking about the princess of R&B and hip-hop from the most talented record label, Murder Inc. I'm talking about Miss Ashanti.
I knew it was
Kyle,
coming.
your life is such a disappointment.
Who, by
boy.
the way, Ed, I know Deborah Cox is your wife in another life. This is my wife in another life. Who also has the best Instagram page of all Instagram users, if that will help my case for this nomination.
That does help your case. That Instagram is Hall of Fame. I will say that. But if we talking about music, Lord help. Tom, please go before I have to drag out the casket that we put R&B in.
I feel like we always talk about Tyrese's ego. I feel like the biggest ego I've ever seen from a female artist has to be Ashanti. I'm just saying. If you follow her Instagram, man, that is all.
Now,
it's an obvious no. I mean, for me. So, what do we?
Obviously, now we have talked about my range of crushes, R&B crushes over the years, because we got Adina Howard, we got Deborah Cox, we got early 2000s Claudette Ortiz, and Ashanti was up in there at one point too. But Lord help me, like, how many albums does she have now? Maybe 4 or 5. The only album that I would even put above 3.5 stars was maybe The Declaration. And although she did...
Man.
Wait, what? What about the debut?
Even though she did... That too. That album is so uneven. Sorry to tell you. Sorry to give you facts.
Someone cut this guy's mic off. Come on.
Because have you listened to that album? Good Lord. Like, it's got some good singles. But other than that, and we're not even going to talk about the vocals. And it's funny that we say this because I just wrote a piece on Soul and Stereo on Friday talking about how artists and a lot of fans don't give Ashanti the credit that she deserves. As far as an artist in the 2000s, she was one of the most visible ones. But when we look back at the totality of her career, sorry, player. I love you, but that output was not popping.
Hold on, I got some actual commentary. So, think about it like this. Was she one of the most successful of her generation?
Yep.
So there you go. Isn't that enough of a case to maybe put her in?
Not if the albums are half whack.
So you're saying if she was one of the most successful of her generation and the albums were whack, what does that say about the whole generation as a whole?
Well, you can't measure success just by that alone because, unfortunately, people will buy anything. I think Drake broke a whole bunch of records off of this last album. And what did I give that, like a 3.5? So I'm not just going by that. Sometimes the hype kind of goes a little bit higher than actually output is what I'm saying. And Ashanti has some songs. Like, she has 4 or 5 really good songs, but as far as
4 or
total
5
albums,
what the hell?
Yes.
What is going on?
What? Oh my goodness!
Please, Kyle, Mr. Superfan, name some Ashanti songs.
I actually like Ashanti myself, to be honest.
Oh, Tom.
Guys, I forgot
You're a grilled chicken.
I forgot to make one more point about Ashanti. I think that will solidify my case, in terms of putting her in the Hall of Fame. She is the only artist, aside from the Beatles, to have 3 songs in the top 100 at one time. It was Foolish, What's Love, and Always on Time. With the Beatles, who would make our Hall of Fame, even though they don't make R&B.
Always on Time, Foolish, and some other random song are up there with the Beatles.
What do you mean some random song? What's Love with Fat Joe is a huge single. Random
That song was horrendous. gorgeous.
Oh my
Did
God.
you hear those vocals? Them joints were paper thin, player. What's love?
What is going on here?
Man.
What
Actually,
love?
all right, hold on. I'm actually an Ashanti fan. I like her music. Ed, you're a little off base here. I'm sorry, man.
No,
But-
I love Ashanti. I like her as a person, and I love a few of her singles, but I ain't gonna front like she is Whitney Houston. Come on now.
Here's what happened to me though. So she was off to a great start. She had 3 albums in her first 3 years, but then in the next, what's been like 13 years after that, she only put out 2 albums. So to me, she just wasn't consistent enough. But to me, the real nail in the coffin was when they pulled her off that Fabulous track, that single, and put Tamia back on it in her rightful place. That was embarrassing to me.
Why
on.
did and see we've talked about this before. Why did they pull her off of that? Because she sounded a hot mess.
I'm just
There
saying.
you go, right there.
You guys are killing
So-
me. But can we at least acknowledge the fact that she was the blueprint for these R&B and hip hop collaborations in the 2000s? Let's give her that.
I don't know if I would say she was the blueprint. I think Murder Inc. they had a formula that they put together because between her, Ja Rule, what's the J-Lo, I think they had a little formula going. But some of y'all on a little bit of revisionist history here, player, because outside of Foolish and the Foolish remix and maybe Rock With You, I don't really know what I'm hearing, if I'm hearing what y'all hearing. Jeez.
Who invited this guy into this podcast anyway?
What is going on?
My goodness.
Well, someone has to be the adult in the room. Good Lord.
All right, let's,
Trying to put Ashanti in the Hall of Fame.
I feel like we're close. All right, let's do a vote right now.
He's just cranky because after the last podcast when we asked if Keith Sweat was the sexiest man alive, the response was the answer was no. Ed's still cranky about that.
I'm a little salty about that, but that's neither here nor there, player.
All right, let's
Gee.
have a quick yes or no. Ashanti Hall of Fame. Yes or no, guys? Ed?
I go ahead, Ed.
Do we even have to? Into the no.
Tom?
See, for me, it's a no, but I think it's closer than he's giving it credit for. If she had been more consistent with releasing music over the past decade, then maybe I would have thought about it closer. She had a shot. I mean, she's got hits. Whether you think she can sing or not, Ed, she's got hits.
No, she's got hits. I will definitely agree with you. And as much shade as I'm throwing, I really am an Ashanti fan.
Really?
It might not sound.
What?
Yes,
All,
I am.
all 5 of her
It's
good songs?
Yes, all 5 of those songs are on my iPod
my
and still rocking.
This is out of control.
Oh, man. All right, well, Ed,
Ed started drinking early today.
Ed, you're nominating next week, so just remember, whoever you nominate is going down.